Farrell on it again. Deep one around the back. Quinn there is the breakthrough goal. It's Andrew Quinn. The underdogs bare their teeth and show their fight in this cup final. Drogs United strike first.
Welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, a Drogs United fans podcast, proudly sponsored by the Coffee Box.
Hello and welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, episode number 28. As usual, joined by the lads. How are you doing, lads? How are you doing, Owen?
Greg, sorry, what's the crack?
All good. Richie, how are you, man?
Yeah, all good, lads. All is good.
Nice one. Yeah. Very, what an emotional roller coaster the other night, boys. Jesus, man. It was some game of football.
Yeah, it's exactly what the cup brings, isn't it? Every year, you know, it was probably everything we expected it to be.
Yeah, it was everything you expect a cup game. You hoped a cup game to be. Obviously, we didn't get the result at the end, but like, my God, there's just so much went on, and the elation and then absolute devastation at the end. Like, it's just mental, isn't it? Football is a crazy game. How'd you get on?
Yeah, I've had a tough week footballing wise as well. I was only back from Armenia and then I had that on the Friday. But Jesus, yeah, what a game! Like, had all the emotions of being a football fan, the ups and downs. Smallest of margins, we just unlucky. But geez, what a game of football!
Yeah, absolutely. I watched it back yesterday. And I hung over Sunday. I decided I'd watch it back yesterday morning, and me actual whatever we recorded it on Sky, and it cut off just before the penalties started, so I didn't get a chance to watch the penalties back. But I was kind of happy about that, to be honest with you. But
Definitely better off.
Yeah, I did catch one or two of them, little clips here and there online. But look, I suppose just to get into the game itself, the starting lineup was pretty much what we expected. I suppose every week we kind of debate who's going to start, and it's nearly always the same starting 11, apart from the two up top. So we ended up going with Warren and Josh Thomas. Did you feel like that was the right two to start the game, from considering how the first half really didn't go our way? Like, I didn't think we were great in the first half. I was kind of a little bit worried kind of coming out into the second half. But what was your thoughts on the starting 11?
Yeah, no, look, I was happy enough with it. Like we always say there every week, like if we have all our players fit, like our special strikers, like I think everybody picks Warren and Josh to be number 1 and 2, and they probably are the most experienced strikers we have in the team. If you're looking at Darry, he's only a young lad, and look, Thomas Lewis, probably we've spoken about it here before. He's not a striker, so going on that, I don't know about this new lad in from Derby. Stratton, is that what we call him?
Stratton, yeah.
That's Stratton, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about him just yet. I've seen some glimpses of him already. But yeah, no, look, I was happy with the two boys up front. Yeah, look, they probably didn't get much change off Lopez and Grace on the night. But no, I was happy enough with them two starting.
Owen?
Yeah, I was happy enough with them starting as well. Like, whoever we started, they were always going to have a tough night up against Cleary, Grace and Lopez. Yeah, like, they didn't really get much service around in the first half. I know we had a couple of chances McGinty saved. I think it was a Josh Thomas shot. But like, Rovers were brilliant as well in the first half. Like, Jesus, they're like I know our midfield wouldn't be the strongest, but I haven't seen anyone tear it apart like that in a while.
Yeah, I think that strike you're talking about was just a real sort of instinctive. He was back to the goal and he just kind of turned and lashed the ball, and it just went wide of McGinty's McGinty's post. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much, when you look at the the first half, I don't think we had many other sort of chances, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling, and I know it's been a bit kind of stop-start for him because he had an injury. I'm not talking about Josh Thomas here. I'm talking about Warren Davis, and then he went off. He's kind of gone off the boil a little bit as far as goals go, definitely. But just are his levels kind of up to the standard that they were kind of, at the beginning of the season? Is he kind of coming off it a little bit? Has his head been turned with the talk about the move and all that, and then that didn't come off and stuff? Do you know what I mean? He's not I'm not saying he's not. He's still a class player, and he's still probably one of our better options up there, and I'm sure he'll come good over the next, we've 7 games left, and we need him to get on the goal. We need him to get back into the goals, because we have lost a lot of firepower as well with Dougie gone. I just think Warren there's probably a little bit more pressure on him now, even.
Yeah, maybe so. And look, you just don't know how that injury has affected him. He was there for a good spell. Look, he is struggling a bit. Let's be honest. I don't think he's playing bad now. To use it, just as you said, he's that levels and coming up with the goods, and it's the same as a goalkeeper and a striker. They're judged on goals and saves, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's fine margins. Other players around the pitch probably wouldn't be scrutinised as much as a striker and a goalkeeper. So, yeah, look, he's not coming up with the goods at the minute, but as you said, you just don't know how that injury has affected him. And there's been a lot of changes up around the striker position as well. He hasn't really has a settled playing partner either.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff like that can play a part in it. So, look, hopefully he can finish the season strong for us.
Yeah, definitely. Boga?
Yeah, he said, I was just looking here, he hasn't scored since Waterford away. That was at the end of May, and obviously he had a period out with injury and stuff, so we played fuck all in July, but yeah, I just love to see him get a goal soon enough just to get the head back. I wouldn't say his head's dropped, and the effort is still there totally. Just probably hasn't had as many chances as he had previously as well.
Yeah, I think that missed chance in Tallaght a couple of weeks ago, where we talked about it. That was a chance. Back at the beginning of the season, he was burying them, and I think if that had went in, it would have done his confidence and our confidence the world of good. We would have come out of there with a point, and it would have been him back in the goals. But it's a funny. It's a funny thing being a striker, I'd imagine, because there is games as well where you're not really in it and you're not having a great game. Dougie was a great example of that. He had some games where he was absolutely dreadful, and then he just come up with a goal. He was just a poacher. He'd turn on one, or he'd get his head on something, or he'd end up. A lot of his goals were penalties. We can't forget about that either. But yeah, look, we have to have a bit of faith in the lad. He's only young as well, and going back to the first half. I think we were getting run ragged as well. In the middle of the park, as you said there earlier, you hadn't seen us being sort of that kind of dominated. We were certainly being dominated. Although I think defensively and defending as a team, we were still really, really good. We did restrict them. They had a couple of chances, but not like a half full. And I think the goal that they did score was just, they totally cut us open. It was one of them kind of, and they did this 3 or 4 times on the night. You think he's going to sort of make the pass to his right hand side to the obvious player, and he just cuts it in through us, through the 2 centre halves. That's kind of next level stuff. That's not stuff that we would be used to seeing our players do. Having that eye for a pass, other players in the league, like Chris Forrester and that's been doing that for a long time as well. But they did do that to us 2 or 3 times on the night, and we defended it. We defended it fairly well out from that time where they did score, and I think Ryan Brennan did trip and slipped, and it just left a big, massive gaping hole there for Burke to kind of put the ball into the bottom corner. But it was a great goal. I don't think there's much we could have done about it. Obviously, if Ryan hadn't have fell, I'm sure we would have defended it a bit better, but it was just a bit of class from them, like.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you just have to put your hands up. I was looking at the two teams before, like the game, obviously the team news. And when I looked at the Rovers team, I was like, oh my God, like I don't think they could have been any stronger. Like I think that's their starting 11. I think that's their best 11 players. Right, Gaffney up front maybe mightn't be in, but have a look at the goals as well. They had a serious team out. They were on it. They were on it. And look, there was a lot of moans and that around us at the ground. Oh, get close to them, get tackled in. Sometimes you can't. When you're playing that quality of a player, they just create space. And it's so hard to close down. You close it down, they just nip it around you. You're leaving space. It's so difficult when players of that quality are on it. And like, Bork now for the first half, he was just on it, wasn't he? And him and Mandrew as well, Danny Mandrew, they were just unplayable. They really were. And I don't think we could have done any more. You know?
Yeah, the way that squad's going, that could be one of the best ever League of Ireland squads, I think.
Oh, brilliant, Owen. Like, serious squad.
Yeah, like right, they had Santa Clara, who are fifth in Portugal. Santa Clara drew 1-1 with Benfica in Lisbon at the weekend. So that's the sort of level that them lads are capable of. Obviously not consistently, but if they bet Santa Clara over 2 legs,
yeah,
it shows you how much quality they have.
Yeah, and not even quality. They've bags of experience now. Like all them games in Europe, playing against teams in Europe, how to keep a ball running in behind the fact, all them little things. Like they're an unbelievable team, lads. And for us to bring them to sudden their penalty shootout, we should be really proud of it. You know. And I know it's them moral victories and nobody likes them, but we have to look at it in context here.
Yeah, no, I agree with exactly 100% with what you both said. And I mean, also throw Pico Lopez into the mix, who's after coming home from another really successful away trip with Cape Verde. And I mean, they are one game away from qualifying for a World Cup, lads.
Right, okay.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Did they beat Senegal or somebody? I mean, I think the population of Cape Verde is 600,000 people, and I know they have a bit of a diaspora that they pick from. Obviously, Pico was born in Ireland, and you know what I mean. He's playing for them, but obviously it's parentage or whatever. But like, you know, he has unbelievable experience now in Europe with Rovers, winning 5 leagues and the cup with Rovers, qualifying for group stages of Europe twice, and you know, he's up against some of our boys who are, you know, represented. Like Josh Thomas represented Wales at under 21 level. He hasn't kicked the ball for Swansea. He's out at loan at us, and you know what I mean. Warren, Ireland under 21s obviously, but he's only come into, you know, senior football in the last couple of years, and you know what I mean. Like some of them lads have been to England and decided to come back. Could have stayed. Danny Mandreo could have stayed, but decided to come back. And yeah, so as you said, like I don't want to be waxing lyrical all night about how good they are, but I think you're right when you put it into perspective. Like, you know, we're up against the machine here that are like dominating the league this year. They're probably going to end up doing a double, and they've qualified for the group stages of Europe. And when you put it into perspective there about Santa Clara beating Benfica, like that's next level stuff. I don't think we've ever had a League of Ireland team that are as prolific and as consistent as Rovers are. Obviously, they had a bit of a dodgy one last year where they didn't win the league for whatever reason. I don't know whether that had anything to do with the European sort of exploits or what, but I mean, they've put that behind them this year to pretty much going to win the league at a canter if things go as predicted. They've got European football coming up, but you're right in what you say, Richie. We'll get to the second half and what we did to them, but I think it's a good starting point as well. Like, you know, we were second best in the first half, and we kept it to 1-0, which was for the last 10, 15 minutes, I was just kind of praying, I need to just keep this to 1 goal, get it in, and come out in the second half, all guns blazing, because, you know, we've said this as well about Kevin. He won't make an awful lot of changes to the team unless he has to. And he knew the other night that, look, we're just going to have to change this up. I think it was probably, was it 60 minutes when we sort of brought in a few of the subs where we changed it up in the middle of the park and all that. And I really feel that did change the game. And we were the better side in the second half. I mean, Rovers still have chances and they're always going to have chances, but I think we really, really came at them in the second half and just threw the absolute kitchen sink at it. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. Top Paul Doyle was brilliant now when he come on. I thought he made a big difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, all week the whole build up to the game, obviously we texting the lads and that and just chatting about it. And all I wanted from the game was sort of like, look, we were cup holders. Just don't go out on a whimper. Don't let these fucking roll us over 3 or 4 nil and just let them win at a canter. And we didn't. Like, you know, we came out the second half. Thought we were really good in the second half. A couple of changes that we made, definitely, as you said, threw the kitchen sink at them. And we got our just rewards with the great goal. But yeah, look, I'm not saying I'm happy about it, but it's like if I had been bet by playing shit or bet by a weaker team, I think that would have been a kick in the balls now. But yeah, no, look, it was a good second half. There was good promise and signs.
Yeah, look, there's no shame in going out against them, I suppose. It was a serious kick in the teeth when you look how close we were to winning that, and then, you know, going into the next round with Kerry still in it and a really poor Cork team, and who else is there? Pats and yeah, do you know what I mean? So you really would have been putting yourself in the prime position to get back to the Aviva at least. Who knows what would happen in the day there? But that was the kind of sickener. It was like I sat in the ground for a good 5 or 10 minutes after it was over. Just me head in my hands. It was just like, oh man, this wasn't supposed to happen, because, you know, I wouldn't say I was hugely confident going into it, but because of the way the game sort of transpired, us getting in like a 94th minute equaliser to bring it to extra time, and you're thinking, this is going to be air night, lads.
Yeah,
this is
looking special.
Yeah, it just looked like luck was going to be. I'm not saying we were lucky to get the goal. I think we deserved to get the equaliser, but, you know, when you do equalise in the 94th minute and bring it to extra time, you're starting to think, right, this could be air night here. You know what I mean? And I couldn't even look at the fucking penalties. I don't know about you, but I was just looking away. I hate penalties. Even the night in Derry, I was looking away from the telly.
Yeah, yeah. Funny enough, now when it goes to penalty shootout, I actually get very relaxed. Like it's out of your control. It's different to watching a match at 90 minutes and extra time. But the penalty shootout, look, I hate saying it. It's a lottery. I hate saying that. You know what I mean? But it's yeah. I don't know what it is with penalties. I just sort of get relaxed watching them, and it is what it is then. But yeah, it was a tough way to go out.
Not to mention the man's right you tackle, lads.
Oh yeah, we definitely not forget that one.
No, we're definitely going to talk about that, Boger. I have that down. I was just going to ask you, Owen, like, was there an element of, right, we came out in the second half kind of all guns blazing and really sort of put it up to Rovers, but it was a fairly changed enough team. He had taken a few off at that point, Bradley had. So was there an element of, you know, we were a lot better or they were a lot worse in the second half?
I'd say it's a combination of both, I'd say. Like, yeah, he took off Manzroy and the likes. Like, they were still a strong team. Like he brought on like Michael Noonan, who's at some stage probably going to be sold for a couple of million, maybe.
Yeah.
Gary O'Neill. Yeah, he brought on Gary O'Neill. He'd probably walk into most midfields in the league. John McGovern, if they paid $100,000 for him, like that's the boys coming off the bench. Aaron McAneff, good experienced midfielder. So like it wasn't as good a team as the starting, but she's still fucking solid enough. Like
Aaron Green as well.
Yeah, Green, Nugent.
Yeah.
Again, most of these lads will be going into every other team in the league. Yeah, look, that's just unfortunate, but we gave a very good account of ourselves. I also noticed as well that during the penalties, I sent a couple of picks. McGinty was off the line for the two that he saved, but
Well off it.
the line decided not to call it.
Well off it. Oh, well off it. Those pictures you sent, I was fucking raging when I seen that. I thought, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Is that not the lineout's job in a penalty shootout? And you see it all the time. You see penalties being taken all the time when the keeper's off his line. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a tough one to take, that, wasn't it?
And I've seen a few people like giving the lads that missed a bit of guff from, like, I wouldn't be too harsh on them. Keeper dives the other way, they're fucking ball going in, like, so. It's small margins.
It is, yeah. And like you should never knock somebody for stepping up and taking a penalty.
No, definitely not.
So, now, I would have one little gripe now. Look, it's probably nitpicking, but there was a couple of senior players there should have took one, I thought, ahead of Derry. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, like, who would have?
Well, Shane Farrell and Colin Kane didn't take any.
Mm.
And I know Farrell missed one against Rovers, but what a great chance to go and put it right. Now, look, as I said, I'm nitpicking. I just thought his body language going up to it, I thought he looked so inexperienced. You could see it in him. He's only a young lad. I looked at Evan beside him and I said, no, he ain't scoring. But look, I'm still not knocking him. He took balls, fucking take it. But I would have liked to see the senior lads stepping up before him. That's just my opinion on it.
And it wasn't a bad penalty, Richie. It was a good save.
Yeah, look, absolutely, yeah. As I said, there's nitpicking, but I just like seeing the players going up first and taking control of it. And then if it gets to a young lad, right, up you go. But, look, it is 5 matches. Owen said he dives the other way, the two of them are in, aren't they? So.
Right, I think this is a good place to start this discussion because, like, if there's anyone from Rovers happens to listen to this, they'll probably laugh and go, oh, yeah. But the performance from the officials, and Doyle in the middle in particular, was absolutely horrendous. Some of the stuff that he let go, and then some of the bookings he made were just an absolute joke. There was no consistency in his performance all night. It was dreadful. And I know it gets said, and it was said the other night between us and between, different Drogheda fans, that why the man is even allowed ref a Rovers game if, in fact, he was a season ticket holder at Rovers. It's a fucking joke. Like, I know, and I'm not saying he went out to deliberately do us. I don't think he did. But I just think he was just poor. His performance was just really, really, really poor. And the prime example of it is what you mentioned earlier on the Danny Mandreou's tackle on Conor Kane. That is a red card in every single game all day long. And why it was a yellow. And some of the yellows that he did give from absolute innocuous, pathetic little challenges. Like, even free kicks. Some of the yellows he probably did give him were probably yellows. But how he deemed Mandreou's tackle only to be yellow, I'll never know.
Yeah, and it was now when it first happened, obviously, and like during the night, the whole reaction, and I always go by reaction of players and even the drop of the bench straight away. There wasn't even a split second. They were screaming or anything. The whole lot of them. It's the same when there's a handball in the box. The player's reaction, handball, But looking back on it again, he scissor kicked him. He sort of did that scissor effect to trip him. But, like, when a player comes off his 2 feet, he's got no control of that tackle.
No.
That was dangerous. That was a dangerous tackle. That could have went really wrong. The way he came in on it.
Right, 100%. And you don't hear it being said anymore, but you're not allowed tackle from behind like that.
Yeah.
That alone. And the fact that it was like a breakaway, and I know there was another Rovers player behind. Like, there wasn't like, I'm not talking last man or anything like that, but you're not allowed to tackle from behind. And there was momentum with his other leg to come in, like that scissor movement that you said. There was. And your man, Conan Bourne, in the commentary, is an absolute arsehole. I mean, he must have seen it 3 or 4 times back. No, yellow for me, yellow for me. There was no malice in it. There was absolute malice in it. He didn't get the ball. Nowhere near the football. It was nothing but malice in that tackle. And, I know this is going to sound like absolute sour grapes because it is. But there's no way they should have had 10 men on the pitch. And then he goes and wasn't it him that put the ball through for the goal? Look, it was an absolute...
That was before the tackle, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. That's right. But it was just an absolute sickener, like it really, really was. There's no way he should have been on the pitch. And that's a different game in the second half of 10 men because of the way we came out and the way we approached the match after half time. I think we definitely would have got more out of it if they had been down to 10 men.
Yeah, and there is something there, isn't it, about, they always say the teams at the top, the stronger teams, will always get the favoured referee.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Oh, yeah. But Neil Doyle in particular, I know you mentioned it there, Greg. You said he is a former Rovers season ticket. I've had to confirm by Rovers fans. He used to have a Rovers season ticket.
That's crazy.
Someone else said he used to sell programs at matches. Look, there's no way he should ref any Rovers match. He should ref any other game in the league. He should never ref their games. It's just whether subconsciously he does it or not. There's a bias there, like.
Well, not even that, Owen. If he has them previous season at the whole and seller programs, he's got connections and friends in that club.
Yep.
As fans. No, I don't mean officials or anything, but his mates are probably sitting in the stand. Watching as Rovers fans. So even if he doesn't mean to go and give Rovers everything, subconsciously he is. Like, some of the decisions was ridiculous. So frustrating watching him. I've never seen him ref a good game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the fact that, excuse me, I mean, the man's a good age now because I remember him 20 years ago reffing games. Like, he must be well into his 40s.
I remember he had hair, yeah.
Yeah, I remember he had hair. I didn't cop it was the same person years ago. Somebody said to me, that's Doyle. And I was like, that's Neil Doyle. Wow. When he shaved the head.
I just look there. He has a Wikipedia page. He probably set this up himself, the ego on him, but he's 47.
Right.
So he's only got about 3 years left. 2-3 years.
He's been around. What age is he?
47.
He's 47?
Yeah.
I'm 47. He looks 10 years older than me, if not more.
I'll speak for yourself on that one, Richie.
He's not 47, is he?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
he
sure.
is, yeah.
He has to be, Richie. He was around back in the Doolan days, for God's sake.
Jesus Christ, I would have put him well in his 50s, that fella.
I think you have to retire from League of Ireland at 50 refereeing, I think, unless you get some sort of exception, but I think it's normally around 50 you have to go.
Jesus, right, okay.
The sooner the fucking better he goes.
He is. And you know what, when you see a referee, a referee who reffed the game. Oh, sorry, a referee who played the game.
Mm.
Yeah, he was getting sucked into, like, a Rovers player would step in front of the drop player and throw himself on the ground, and free kick. And it was so blatant to see what the players were doing, and he couldn't see it. Like, he kept getting sucked in. It's like, hop on, will you? Like, you can see, everybody in the ground can see what Rovers players are doing, except for you.
And Richie, like, I mean, he's 10 foot away from it, or 5 feet away from it in some cases. And we're biased. There's no denying we're biased. So sometimes you see something and you immediately think, no way, and then you look back and you go, all right, I was wrong. It was free, or it was a pen, or it was this and the other. But I fairly watched that game closely the other night, and I rewound loads of bits where I thought, hold on a minute, because I knew we were going to be talking about it. So you're looking at it with a bit of more of a microscope than you normally would. And I was thinking, right, hold on a minute, I'm not going to go on and I'm not going to say all these things if they're not true. But they are true, because I watched them back again, and I thought there was one particular incident where it was exactly what you just said. A Rovers player, there was zero contact. Like, I mean, the Drogheda player literally was behind them, and the Rovers player decided to fall over, immediately free kick. And you're just thinking, how many times are you going to do this, Doyle? And it happened 3 or 4 times within the space of about 15 minutes. And I thought, this is just absolutely ludicrous at this point in the game. It's a joke, an absolute joke. But look, I'm not blaming Doyle for the fact that we lost the game and we couldn't score our own penalties. But you have to take a really close look at the linesman then. If McGinty decides to be off his line, which is against the rules, they're the rules of the game. And there's only a couple of things that a lino needs to look out for in a penalty shootout. And that's one of them. Yeah. How was that missed? Yeah, I just don't understand it. How do you miss that? You're standing on the line, watching across, going, right, if he's off his line, I'm making this be retaken. And it's not a rare occurrence. You see it a lot.
Yeah, and it's that inconsistency of it. Because you'll see another penalty shooter maybe in the next round of the Cup semi-finals, if that happens. And the referee on that day, or the linesman, will probably blow it and stop it and say, no, he was off his line. And you're like, well, why couldn't he do that for us? You know, it's that. It could happen one game and then it doesn't happen another game. And that's what gets everybody's fucking.
And why do these things why do they not get mentioned by the media and people who, like, I think it was mentioned. My missus said it to me as she heard it on the radio about the Danny Mandreo. Whoever did the report did say that there was a controversial moment in the game where it could have been a red card for Rovers. Could have been, you know, because obviously they're not going to put their necks in the line and say it should have been. But, you know, we might hear it a bit more during the week now, and there's a few League of Ireland podcasts being talked about, and I'll be listening with great interest to that because, I mean, Stevie Wonder could have told you the other night that was a sending off. I didn't notice the McGinty being off his line until you sent on those photographs on, because obviously we can't see from where we are. Yeah. But there's one man in that ground who can see, and it's his job to see, and he decided not to see it, or he just didn't see it. And if he didn't see it, that's just incompetence. So you'd be kind of wondering that, like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of comeback or for referees if they make mistakes. Like, what happens? I know occasionally you hear of a ref, if there's a red card, 2 red cards were rescinded during the season, and that's the first time I've ever heard of that in the League of Ireland as well. And the ref might get sort of dropped, or he might end up got put down to the 4th division or whatever. But you can be damn sure that if Rovers end up in the final in the Aviva, that Doyle will probably be reffing it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is, and it's no good to the teams then the referees getting punished the week after, is it not? Like, Sligo got done up in the Pats game.
Yeah.
You know, and they lost the game because of that. And then they came out the day after saying, oh, we got to run.
Was that Doyle as well?
I don't think it was Doyle, no. But
no.
Just about referees generally. What use was that to Sligo? They would have been better off saying nothing.
Yeah,
you know, like,
Jesus Christ.
Go and lose that game.
And why, like, the other thing about it is, like, why did Doyle have to ref that game in particular when Pats and Galway were playing on the Sunday on telly, which was also a big game? I mean, ours was probably the biggest game because it was the league champions to be against the FAI Cup champions, the holders and all that. Yeah, so right, you know, you want your main men in there, but if there's any sort of an inkling, if, you know, now we're talking about this, and now everyone in Drogheda is talking about Neil Doyle and Neil Doyle. It's the Neil Doyle show, and sometimes it feels like that's what he fucking wants. He just loves being the centre of attention. Like, why they couldn't have given him the Pats and Galway game, I never know, and let whoever ref us on Friday night, and then there wouldn't have been any drama.
Yeah, or even Bowls were playing Derry in the league Friday night. Rob Hennessy, why did not just have him do that again? Neil Doyle. Not that he's a fucking great ref either, but at least he's not a fucking ex-Rover season ticket holder.
Yeah. And you know what, lads? I actually know of a lad in Drogheda. I'm not going to his name out, but he was actually a fault official in Tala a few weeks ago. I was seeing him on the sideline.
Yeah.
He's from. I actually played football in Drogheda, and he's down. But lots of things, he's making his way up that ladder now, and he can probably do a few League of Ireland games. I guarantee you he'll not do Drogheda again, because he's from Drogheda.
Was he ever a Drogheda United fan, Richie? Or?
Well, he probably was back in the day now, yeah. Like, but he's from the town. He's a Drogheda lad. He played football in Drogheda. I know him, but I guarantee you, he'll not do the Drogheda again. There's no way he'll have to do the Drogheda again.
You wouldn't want them to, would you?
No, you wouldn't, exactly, because you wouldn't want, because he'd probably know half the lads understand anyways, we don't,
You just get dogs abuse, the poor fella. I wouldn't want him there.
Yeah. So, like, are you trying to tell me that nobody in the FEI that knew that Doyle has connections with Rovers or would have been a fan in the day?
This has been going on for 20 years with him.
Yeah, bullshit. And you know what? There's not a lot of them there, pundits and that. There's not enough of them there at the minute with balls enough to call it out. Because they don't want to lose their job or they don't want to upset somebody, Like, the man Conan Dudley probably saying, oh, that was only a yellow card. He's probably mates with Danny Andrew. Probably knows all that. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not going to upset him. Doesn't have the balls to call it out.
I know I'm a bit of a Keith Tracy fan, even more so over the last while, because I feel like that he was kind of calling things out, because I don't think he's that really connected with a lot of the players, because he spent most of his time in England and he kind of came back at the tail end of his career, and he just, he to me, he seems to be, I wouldn't say he's the only one. There is other ones. I mean, Gartland and that did call it out, and your other man, what's his name? The lads that were doing the what?
Alan Cawley.
Yes, excuse me, Alan Cawley. They did. They were 100% that was definitely a red.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they were. I watched it back as well, and just to hear what they had to say, and they said, yeah, look, that's, another ref's given a red all day for that, and I can see why. And he said Rovers are very, very lucky to keep 11 men on the pitch. Yeah, look, I suppose we should probably move on from all the sour grapes, but I think we definitely have a warranted gripe about the way the whole thing was handled. And, I would love to hear Kevin talk about it now in the kind of sort of clear light of day, because his post-match, I don't think he really mentioned it that much. He didn't seem that annoyed. He was talking about more how proud he was of how we sort of put it up to them in the second half and all that. He was trying to be a bit more upbeat, and I don't blame him for that. But I think when we hear a bit more from him maybe during the week, he might talk about it a bit more. But I
think the two of them get booked though. Doherty and Doyle got booked for that incident.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Doyle.
You won't hear much from Kevin this, I don't think, just because he's liable to get a ban.
Yeah, he's probably holding his tongue.
And criticising referees or anything like that, you normally get a couple of game ban, 3 game ban, so probably won't hear much from him.
You know what, though, he's quite good at delivering criticism and making points and not actually saying it out straight. I've seen him doing that quite a lot.
Yeah, he can put a spin on it.
Yeah, he'll say, the way certain things were handled, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sure he will, and I'm sure he was as raging as we were. Yeah. But, look, as we said, lads, second half saw a change of formation as well. We did go to 4 at the back for a while when we brought on the subs. I think Paul Doyle definitely had a big impact on the game. He did give the ball away when I was watching it. No shame in that. There's one particular time that he saw it was a loose pass and he gave the ball back to Rovers and they broke. But as a whole, I think he had a very positive sort of impact on how Drogheda were playing. The goal itself was, Jesus, like, there was right before we even get to the goal, I suppose there was that other moment where we had like 3 chances within the space of like a minute and a half, where there was a mental goal line scramble, and then McGinty pulled off a great save, and we had about 3 or 4 corners. We were putting them under serious pressure.
Yeah.
And how we didn't score one of them. I think it was actually, do you know who it was who cleared the ball off the line? It was Mandreo, wasn't it?
Probably was.
McGinty made a save with his feet then as well.
Yeah.
Good save. That was only a few minutes before the actual goal, I think, was it?
Yeah, but 10 minutes before, I think. 10 minutes. Yeah. 10 or 12 minutes. I was actually getting mixed up earlier on about the Mandreo passing the ball in for the goal. I meant what I was meaning to say was that Mandreo actually did clear that ball off the line, and that prick shouldn't have been on the pitch. So you got to thinking, right, if he had got the red, who knows what could have been, but the actual goal itself, like, I mean, it was mental, wasn't it? Like, what a finish by Quinn, who in my opinion was man of the match. I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and you know what? He's been brilliant all season. I can't really pinpoint a game where he's been bad this season.
Yeah.
But no, the goal was amazing. And like, it felt like it was coming all right. Like, I know we spoke about it earlier. Our Rovers made a few changes, but the changes they made were all quality players. I thought Jordan really went for it, pushed for that equaliser and got it deservedly. I thought we really went at it. You know, we went out of it with Rovers still being so good as well. You know what I mean? It wasn't as if we had them pinned back in their box. They were still in control of the game, I suppose, and that. But it was brilliant.
It was pinball.
Yeah, it really was. And you knew that chance you were on a bit there, the ball flying around the box. You had the feeling there was something building, there was something coming. And then
Connor Keeley.
Yeah.
He lashed it.
Yeah, it was a Keeley, was it?
Yeah, lashed it, and I thought it was in. I think he thought it was in as well. It's just McGinty.
Yeah, prick. But, no, look, the goal is quality. And he has that in his locker. That wasn't just, I'll stream me boot with this and hope for the best. He knew what he was doing there. Brilliant goal.
And I think Lamb in the build up to the goal was absolutely brilliant as well. The way he kind of took the ball around the Rovers defender and just kind of hooked it into the area, which is exactly where you want the ball to be going. You know, to put it into those areas, and who knows what's going to happen. Like, I thought Lamb was really good the other night as well. What was I going to say? I mean, like, once we scored a goal, and it was the 94th minute, like, to drag it into extra time. But the extra time in and of itself was absolutely dreadful, I think, from both sides.
It was.
I think everyone looked just dead on their feet, and I was like, I think we're just going to play for. We went back to 5 at the back, didn't we, for the extra time?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
brought Cooper on and went back to 5 at the back. So, right, fair enough. I think that in itself kind of showed that what the mindset was, you know, just keep it tight for extra time and bring it to penalties and see. Not that we weren't trying in extra time, we were, but we just didn't get much joy. I think Alua coming on, he didn't get a sniff. Mind you, he did win the ball a couple of times with his head, which I was impressed about because you don't see that very often from him. But extra time just really wasn't cutting the mustard. But what I was going to ask the both of you is like, is there an argument to be made that why were we so good in the second half after we were fairly poor in the first and we'd gone one down? Like, we really started turning the screw in the second half. I know a lot of it was from long throws. The ball was being pumped up into the box, but it was being really effective. It's not as if we started dominating the game in the middle of the park, but I think Paul Doyle did get his foot on the ball a bit more, and you know, we did look a lot more threatening. You know, is there an argument to be made that why aren't we playing like that from the first minute? Which, right, in saying that, we were all right in the first 5 or 10 minutes. I think we did play quite well, but then we sat back and went into our shell, and sort of Rovers took over the game. And I know that's because Rovers are quality players, and it's really difficult to counter that, but we really did counter it in the second half. Why can't we do that in the first? Why can't we come out from the first whistle and keep it up then? Instead of after 10 minutes we start sitting back and we go deeper and deeper and deeper and we just let them have the ball, which is a kind of a trait of ours over the last while, that we start games well, then we go into our shell a little bit, and then if we go one down, we come out in the second half, you make a few changes, and then we start really coming into the game. Why can't we start games like that?
Yeah, and like, it just shows, like, we are capable of it. We are capable of having a go at teams. Now, can we do it for 90 minutes? Have we the squad to do it for 90 minutes? 95 minutes? I don't know. I'd like to see a few more quality players in around there to do that. But there was glimpses of it without a doubt. We had to have it though, didn't we? We were 1-0 down in the cup. It was do or die. So he had a proper goal. But yeah, look, I definitely hear what you're saying, Ari. You'd like to see it every week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you really would. I'd love to see us now in the remaining league games. Look, I mean, we've nothing to lose now. We have to go for this because Derry go and beat Bows the other night. Shels bet Galway the week before to kind of put them. I think they're level on points for us now, aren't they?
Yeah, 42 points.
Our Pats ahead of us on goal difference.
Head on goal difference, yeah.
Right, so there's three teams all sitting on the same points, and then you've Bows just ahead of us, and then Derry on second. They got 3 points the other night in a mental game in Dalymount. Jesus Christ, I watched the highlights of that. It was crazy, the amount of goals. But so like for these next 7 games, we're just going to have to just go. We have to go gung ho. There's no point in you know. And I'm not like it's a cliche, but they are like 7 cup finals because you know we need to start winning games. We're coming off the back now of a 3rd defeat in a row. And that's not like us. Like, we haven't lost 2 games in a row since last October. And that was near the end of the season where we had the playoff spot more or less nailed. And we were in the cup final and all that. So, you know, you can there's an excuse for that. I don't think we were ever going to really catch Bows last year. But, you know, three games on the spin now that we've come out the wrong side of 2-1 in Tala, 1-0 in the last minute. Home to Pats, and then being beaten on penalties by Rovers. So, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of there. Like, it's not as if we're coming off a bad run of form. Like, if you look at it on paper and you didn't know what was going on, you go, Drogs have lost 3 in a row, they must be shy. That's not the case. But we need to go into this game now over in Sligo on Friday night, Sligo will be absolutely deflated after what happened to them. That was an absolute farce down in Tralee, like.
Yeah, that was an embarrassment. It really was. Yeah, but no, look, you're dead right. And if you look at our home games, Shels, Derry and Bows.
Yeah, Jesus.
They're 3 teams going for our same spot as us in Europe. And we have the 3 of them at home. You can't ask for any more. And like every team, you're right. I don't think Drogs are going to be good enough.
No, they're not. No, it's too tight. You need to win a couple of them. Like
we do, we have to. If we want a European spot, now what we want to happen is Rovers to win the league and the cup, which opens up that home spot, which is great. So, but we have to be Shels at home. We have to be Derry at home. You know, we have now. I know the Bows is the last game of the season. It could be all done by then, but we have to go for it, lads. We really do. And we're capable of it.
We know we have to beat in the Derry. Shels is a different matter. We just haven't really performed against them that well this year. I think that night last April in the rain, I don't know if the conditions were horrendous, but Shels absolutely tore us apart that night. We were just dominated, and it ended up in a draw, which is mental. But you know, look, that's probably thinking fairly far ahead. But looking at this Friday away to Sligo, you know, you're looking for 3 points, lads. But if we can take a point from that game and stop the kind of losing streak, and then kind of concentrate on our home game then on Monday against Shels, you know, 4 points over the weekend is imperative. And if we have to win one of them, it needs to be against Shelbourne, because obviously Sligo were down the other end of the table, and they're going to be fighting for their absolute lives now on Friday night.
Yeah.
And they got the better of us. I know that ended up in a draw match over in the showgrounds earlier on in the season, the last away game. But you know, they were way the better side in the second half. We were decent, and then we just collapsed and let them back into the game. I think we were 2-0 up, were we?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's going to be a tough game, and they're a decent side. They've put a really good run together. I know that their game the other night didn't go their way, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, Kerry just played out of their skin, and they let Sligo just seemed to let Kerry in behind them at ease. Like, Kerry were sort of pinging balls over from the 2 wingers were pinging balls over for about the last 20 minutes of that game. And yeah, they came out on top. But what's your thoughts on Friday? What way do we approach it? Like,
go for it.
Geez, yeah, look, it's always tricky going over there, like, as you said already, draw be a good result. Like, the main thing you have to do is try keep, yeah, I think it would, like, not often to
Okay.
go over there and win, like,
Right. Okay.
What
um,
is
try
the
keep on
fixtures?
Elding quiet.
Yeah, he's he's definitely the main player, isn't he? Like we have to be stopping him. But I think the poor the back on.
Yeah, they're exposed at the back, they're a little bit better since, Patrick McLean came in, but we can still get at them, the pace and everything, yeah, so, I think it'll be a tight game. Just hoping we can nick it, but again, I'm trying to think when did we last win there? Not sure now.
Showgrounds. I can't remember. I don't think we've that bad of a record there in the last while, though. A lot of draws.
Yeah, a lot of draws. I'm just looking here now.
And I mean, I think Jad Hakiki is a player that is really coming into his own for them as well. He's a real playmaker, and you need to try to nullify him. And as you said, Elding is just lethal. Like, I mean, the man can, like, he got a hat trick down in Kerry last week. He can hold his head up high after that. Like, but you know, we really need to watch him. And even it's not just from, you know, it's not just in and around the box. I mean, he's capable of, you know, 50, 60 yard screamers like he scored in Dalymount there a few weeks ago as well. So you really need to try and nail him down and then go from there. But look, defensively, we've been good. We're not leaking loads of goals. I think 28 goals all season or something like that. We're still right up there as far as defensively solid goes.
Yeah, I found out last time we won away in Sligo, 2021.
Oh, Jesus.
Actually, two of the lads that started that game are still in the team.
Connor Kane.
Connor Kane, yeah. And we Killian Phillips and James Clark come on off the bench.
Right.
So yeah, that's what we mean. Like, if we get a point there, it's not a disaster. Our record over there, like.
Right, fair enough. So we'll move on to Shels on Monday. Look, we said it already. That's a must win. We need 3 points there. Our points not good enough.
Yeah, agree. It won't be enough. Yeah, we will need to win that one.
Yeah, 100%. Any thoughts on that one, Richie? Hello?
Rich, you must be gone.
Can you hear me, lads? I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were
got
gone.
me now?
Yeah, you were gone there for a few minutes, Richie.
Sorry, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, no bother. We were just asking.
Yeah.
We were just. I don't know whether you heard the last bit there, but we were just saying, right, you know, a point in Sligo wouldn't be the worst in the world, but 3 points on Monday against Shels is essential. You gone again? Owen?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Looks like he's.
Am I gone, lads? Can you hear me?
You're back now, yeah.
Sorry about
Just
that.
answer the fucking question, will you?
Yeah.
Did you hear the question that time?
I'm trying to answer the question. Yeah, no, it will be definitely have to be Shels Monday night and take if you took a point then Friday. Yeah, you'd want 4 points over the weekend.
Right, 4 points over the weekend. Right, before you disappear again, I'm just going to get a prediction for Sligo. We'll start with you, Bogo.
1-1.
All right, Richie.
Yeah, I think we win 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to give a 1-0. I won't ask for goal scorers. Shels on Monday on.
2-1 us.
Richie.
Yeah, I'm going to go with draw Monday night. I'll go 2-2 again.
Right, I'm going to go 2-1 draw. So that's 4 points. 4 points from the two games for me. 4 points for you, Boga, and you're going for
A win
4 points.
Friday.
A win on Friday and a draw on Monday, right? Okay.
Yeah. Are you going Friday, lads?
No, I won't make it. I'm actually going away to Holland on Friday morning. I'm going gigging for the whole weekend over there, so I'll be back for Monday.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet if I'll make it Friday. Still haven't decided.
Very good. Very good.
Now that you say it, that's a good time to say this, because we'll have this out during the week, a few days before the game. The Ultras are running a free bus. The only stipulation is that the bus has to be filled, so it's a 52-seater. So if you're interested in going, the bus is free. You need to get in touch with the Famous 45 Ultras Facebook page, or even get in touch with us if you can't seem to get in touch with them, and we can put you in the right direction. But it'd be great to get a good draw of the crowd over. I know it's a Friday, and I know it's hard to get to Sligo on a Friday, but yeah. So anyone who fancies going, give us a shout. I'll give the Ultras page a shout, or even the Drogs Facebook page. I'm sure you'll be able to find the lads there. But fair play to them. It's a great initiative again from them running a free bus. So hopefully they get the 52 bodies. Lads, we're going to leave it there. So nice talking to you again, and hopefully fingers crossed for the weekend. And we'll be back to you next week.
Yeah, nice one, lads.
Cheers.
Yeah, all the best.
Talk to you. Bye bye.
Hello, lads.
Till before you're leaving, and the fishermen come, and the fishermen go, and the water gets dirty all the time. Pollution, it's killing all the fish, and it's hard to make a living on the point. Less than 20